How's you going today, everybody? This is about 9 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's still sleeping. I got my 2 coffees and Baileys in on me this morning. So I figured I'd give you guys a quick little tour and a little bit of a history of my cottage, my happy place, my paradise. We'll start off up by the sawmill here where you first come into the property, and then we'll work our way down to the garage, the cottage, and then we'll go down to the lake, and then my mom's cabin I set up for her, and then my cousin Donnie's cabin. So this is where we start off, come down the hill, and come down. We got this big area cleared out for our sawmill. This is where we chop our trees down. We do a bunch of extra little work, especially nowadays with the price of fucking wood, really coming in fucking handy to get a lot of shit done. See, my cousin Ada's been pretty fucking busy here last couple weeks, getting a bunch of wood prepped up. I think he's gonna build himself a sauna down by the area. You go down that road, you get over to my cousin's place. He's got himself a nice little mother-in-law suite there with his special cabin. So come down the road here, you'll notice these massive fucking white pines. These fucking trees are about 200, 250 feet tall. Got about 30 of them on the lot or so. These trees actually back in the day, how we initially started off our treaty with the British Army and the Queen and all that, they actually came in seeing how tall these trees were, and they used to have the biggest navy in the field in the world, and they actually signed a treaty with us so they can use all our white pines for the masts on their ships back in the day. Right here we got one that we chopped down about probably 2-3 years ago. The thing got struck by lightning on top of the tree, so she was getting pretty dead. There was a risk of it possibly falling on one of the cabins or the garages, so we chopped the motherfucker down. She hit the ground. I tell you, my whole fucking cabin probably dropped about a foot and a fucking, probably an inch or two off the ground. Up on the top end, I got a nice big piece of dry spot there. I'm gonna chop that cunt down. I'm gonna roll her off into the trees, drag it up to the sawmill. I might build myself a fucking table out of it. So a little bit of a sentimental. You got the cabin over there. This is the garage. My garage, a little funny story. It's not really funny, it's kind of heartbreaking. About a fucking year, 2 years ago, I ended up building for my boat, my side-by-side, built this lean-to off the side of it. And you got about 5-6 feet of snow that year. Obviously, I didn't leg bolt the prick enough, and she ended up fucking collapsing down, smashed the windshield out of my boat and everything else. So this is my little garage here. I got all my tools. I got some of my workout equipment. I don't bring a shit ton with me because I like to keep most of it at home. But a couple little things just to maintain what I have. Yeah, not much to her, just a garage. But everywhere I go, I need to have myself a garage. So, but yeah, so the lean-to came crashing down, smashed the windshield on my boat, bent the headache rack on my fucking side-by-side. You can see where she was leg bolted in onto the frame. Should have braced it on the other side as well, but shit happens. It was a nice lean-to too while it happened. Well, it lasted anyways. So needless to say, I just ripped the windshield off my fucking boat. Now we got a windshieldless boat. But we don't go on huge long tours or anything for us. Just take the kids tubing and do some fishing throughout the odd days. So yeah, we don't really need a fucking windshield. So we said, fuck it. Over there I got a trail cut up into the trees where I dumped my honey wagon. The trail just cut up over into there. I dug a 6x6 pit and dump my honey wagon every week to a week and a half. When she starts to get full, we got ourselves a side-by-side that the kids like to fucking rip and play on. Over here, going to the cabin, there's my honey wagon. That's where piss and shit goes. And you just take that every week or so when she gets full, and I dump her up in the trail I got into the trees over there and get rid of our poop and pee. So ended up, initially when we got this place, the siding, the roof, everything looked like you can see on the garage over there. There was just a picture window in the front, a side door ripped all the siding off, built a deck on the side, put 2 windows, opened up the wall between the kitchen and the living room. This way everything was all open, built a deck on the back, put the roof over the top, ended up putting all new windows, new roof, everything's been completely redone in this place. This last 7 years is pretty much what it's been, just a construction site. We got my tote up in the trees. All we do is we just have an RV water pump over into the lake, or a sump pump, sorry. Fill up my tote, use that tote, gravity feeds through this hose to an RV water pump I got into my bathroom, and that gives us water. Look at the size of this fucking white pine. This thing is fucking massive. Probably build a house just out of this fucking tree alone. This tree right here, I bet you she's about fucking 250 years old. This thing is massive. One of the branches blew off one year, hit my thing, a fucking branch, so the size of a fucking tree, for fuck's sakes. So, we'll go into the cabin. Got a few things I'm working on. Building some shelves on the inside. Just plopped in this nice new screen door in the back. Used to have the phantom screen, but the mice were getting in the bottom, so we bought ourselves a wood screen. Yeah, we got the deep fryer there. Fish and chips every fucking night when we're here. Oh, open up the door. This is where we come in. So we knock the wall out. Got our kitchen. Little kitchen here, all the dishes piled up, but that'll be getting done here soon. And then, yeah, wrapped her all in pine paneling. Got our windows out the front. Wood burning stove in here. And the bathroom. It's kind of dark. I don't got the generator going right now, so see if you guys can see a bit. The hot water heater over in that corner. Over there is my RV water pump. That's what feeds everything. We got ourselves our shower, our sink, my toilet. That's what fills up the honey wagon. Yeah, see, got the pillars. Pillars were already here when we got the place. So, got our stove for them chilly evenings. And come on here to the beautiful deck. That's a spectacular fucking view. I love this place. Over there you can see my uncle's little plane he's got. He's got himself his own little plane and a pilot license. Takes the kids for a rip every now and then. Up in the sky, looking the terrain in the area. Get to see tons of moose, tons of bears, everything from up there. We got our deck here. Built the roof over top, so if it does rain, we can still come out and enjoy it. Last year we finished off the retaining wall, put a whole new patio area, filled her all full of sand, and laid these patio stones down. We did our custom little fire pit with the concrete and rocks we got from one of the gravel pits up the road. I used all the wood from my roof that I ended up come crashing down on my boat. I used it to build our woodshed. Wrapped her in some of the spare siding we have, and also used the rest of the wood to build that lovely shelf that you guys see in my garage. Yeah, we'll come down here. I'll show you guys. My mama's cabin that I fixed up for her, and my cousin Donnie's cabin that he stays in. So got some painting going on here. Using these things just to paint. Those will be getting paint up here too this year. Coming to the back, little generator hut. Inside these trees, hidden, is an outhouse. This is where I take my morning shits every morning, usually about halfway through my first coffee. That's where the poop comes. Got the propane tank, splices off between the two cabins. Up there is the water tote. Same thing, use a sump pump from the lake. Fills up the water, gravity feeds, and they've got running water. These are little smaller cabins. Well, 16 by 20, 16 by 24s. My mom's, we ended up adding on to the deck. The deck was only about 4 feet. Added on to it, put new facing on it. Ended up extending the roof out so you can sit under in the rain. You don't have to worry about, oh, looks like we've got ourselves a morning fisherman heading out. This is probably the first person we've seen on the lake since we've been here. It's been about 3-4 days. And first person on the lake going fishing since we've been here. It's pretty much our own private lake. It's fucking beautiful. Nobody comes. This is my mama's cabin that I fixed up for her. Walk inside, little shorter ceilings, everything you need. The propane fridge, cabinet for spare food, little freezer, run off the generator if you need. You got the double bunk bed on the bottom, single on the top. Same thing there. Put all brand new cabinets, everything in. Wrap the place. There's our tap. It's just cold water. They don't have the luxury of hot water down here, but at least they got water. Nice fresh pine paneling, new flooring. So perfect little cabin. This one is where my cousin Donnie stays. We haven't touched this one yet for maintenance or to redo anything on it. Everything's locked up on this one. Do not believe we went in, but see if we can take a quick peek on the window. In the window, and I can show you guys kind of what my mother's cabin used to look like. So I don't know if you can see it, but she's pretty plain Jane. Nothing spectacular about it. Eventually this thing will be getting done. The same as my mom's cabin, but it's been 7 years I've been doing nothing but construction on this fucker. And this is probably my first year I'm actually really gonna enjoy it. Obviously, I can't sit my ass still, so I'm gonna do some things, but there's gonna be nothing major. Another white pine here, looks like she's starting to rot from the top up. She might have been hit by lightning too. Give her a couple more years, see if she comes back. If not, I'm gonna cut that motherfucker down and build some tables or something out of her. We got this kid's hot dog here. Used to tow him on the boat. The dock has definitely seen way better days, but I don't want to remove it yet because we're putting in ourselves a new dock here next year. So just gonna leave that there just for now so we can tie cousin Donnie's boat up to it. Stick the paddle boat and shit on it for now, and then next year will be a new dock going in. And there is my windshieldless boat. Fucking love that boat. So much fun. You'll be seeing us do some fishing on it later. We've got the trolling motor, wireless, just work her off the necklace, fish finder, fucking beautiful thing. There you can see the retaining wall that we put in. About 50 fucking loads of sand we used to fill that thing up. Use a side-by-side, or a little dump trailer, quad trailer we can use off the back. We spent probably about 10 days, every day, 6-7 hours a day, just fucking shoveling sand and dumping sand. Did everything by hand. There you can see a better view of them fucking white pines. Look at the size of them things. So over here, my uncle's property. He's got himself his little cabin, his guest suite. On the other side of his cabin, there's another red cabin. That's where my cousin Amy, cousin Clark stay. We're not going to give you a tour of that, but and over on the other side through the trees is my cousin's property. We've got one other property on the side of him, and on the other side of my uncle's property, there's another property there. Other than that, there's no other properties on this lake. This is what you see every day you look out. Every morning I come out, I sit on my mom's deck, I make myself a coffee, and I just look at this because it's fucking absolutely peaceful. So be taking the kids a bunch of tubing. We got ourselves a triple tube, a double tube, a hot dog, the knee board, the water skis, and we're gonna be fucking ripping on that every fucking day for the rest of the time while we're here. Be getting you guys some footage, some tubing. I might have a special guest coming out. I think you guys all know who he is, but I'm not going to mention any names till I know for sure. Could be coming out in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be a great time. Going to be going to South End, having a practice with all the guys in Timmins. Some people from North Bay coming up, from Quebec coming up. If you're anywhere within 4 or 5 hours from the area, I suggest you come up because it's going to be a fucking phenomenal practice. In the meantime, I'm just laying low, enjoying my fucking paradise, and continuing slowly to work out, slightly trying to maintain at least what I've gained over the last couple months. And then once I'm done with this cottage, I get back to reality. Then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to kick my arse up a gear. So hopefully you enjoy. Stay tuned. Way more to come. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, motherfuckers. And we'll see you soon.